Welcome to my series where I teach you about interior design. This is part 2 of the Train Your Eye exercise video. In the first video, we talked about color theory and color temperature. In today's video, we're going to be talking about identifying the specs. If you're interested in any kind of interior design career path, there's a huge umbrella of different niche areas in interior design. P.S. If you're not sure which is right for you, I have a free quiz, link in bio. In today's video, we're going to identify the specs. This is the definition of what specs are. In order to go into any of these fields, you need to train your eye and your brain to think like an interior designer would. And that means getting into the practice of seeing spaces virtually or in person and being able to identify all of the details that made that design what it is. So using the rendering behind us, I'm going to give you a couple examples, and then I want you to call out in the comments some specs, some details that you see. Once you've called out those specs, tell me something you would change in those specs to have this room look a little bit different or follow a different style. So for the sofa, this was actually a semi-custom sofa. Semi-custom means there's kind of a blueprint of the structure of the sofa, but you can change certain aspects of it to make it customized. So in this case, we spec'd a very specific material. That material had its own specifications, its own color, its own pattern, although it's hard to see. And then we had the specs of how it was sewn. So there's different finishes, trimmings, piping that you can do, whether or not there's pillows. That is a spec decision. Sometimes the absence of something is actually a specification in and of itself. What the feet of the sofa were, the size of it. So the specs would be the width, the height, the depth of the seat. That's just some examples. If you're doing this and you're picking out any one area or material and you are just saying one or two different specs or details, you're doing it wrong. Each of these items has at least 5 different things. So go ahead and comment what your specs are and what you would change that would totally change the design of the room. That is the point of these exercises. If you are not detail-oriented and documenting in a detail-oriented way, your designs will be one way in your head, but when they come out, they're going to look totally different because somebody's going to fill in the gaps of the details you didn't specify, and it's just not going to look like what you had envisioned. If you're ready for an even deeper dive into your interior design education, because I teach you that you don't need a degree to go into interior design, but you do need an education, check out the crash course and let me know in the comments if you would like the 30% off code that is only good for another few days.